What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan 680.
And this is Lex back at it again, guys.
What is up, everybody? Happy Sunday to everyone. Happy Sunday football. The Cowboys don't play till tonight, so I don't know when the Saints are playing. Lex, are playing right now?
At 3:25 or something like that.
Awesome. Then let's get right to it. Cowboys tonight, and then the Saints about an hour, about another hour and a half. Let's get right to it, guys. First and foremost, if you are new to the channel, you know what to do, guys. Like, share, subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page, and thank you for making us a part of your day. But let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, this is it. This is the franchise. This is the one and done Venom. Let there be. I'm just kidding. Venom. The Last Dance, and thank God for that. Thank God it's The Last Dance. I'll say that. One of the things I do want to say is, and I know I talked about it more so in or a little bit on our out of theater reaction. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check it out on our YouTube channel. One of the things I did say was, and I like to point this out whenever it comes to any type of franchise, any type of just film, right? And I wasn't really a fan of the Venom's franchise series. I'm a fan of the the animations, the cartoon that came out in the 90s. That was fantastic. And it when we first got the trailers were amazing. You go back to where, like, I don't think Lex was part of the crew yet, but you go back to where before we even have Venom, the first one, I was super excited. The trailers looked epic. Everything just looked fantastic on so many levels. The trailers, the clips that we got, him transforming to Venom. And I have to admit, I enjoyed the trailers way more than I enjoyed the movies. But again, no, there's so many situations where the movies are so great and the trailers are just shitty. Or the trailers are bad and it just either way can happen. And for me, it was just, the movie wasn't good. But I know, Lex, go on. I know you really liked the first film.
Yeah, the first movie surprised me, but listen, like, the concept from the get-go was hard to sell. It's a Venom movie, iconic character from the comics, a villain, anti-hero, however you want to label it. But a Venom movie without Spider-Man, right? Like, it was transparent from the get-go that this was not connected to any of the Spider-Man movies, like neither in the MCU nor nor was it connected to any of the actual Sony produced or Sony distributed Spider-Man movies, like the Andrew Garfield or the Sam Raimi ones, or Tobey Maguire. So the sell was hard. My expectations were low from the get-go because, as a concept, I just didn't think that you could tell the complete story of Venom without there being a Spider-Man involved. But the first movie surprised me in the sense that it was actually quite entertaining. They added a little bit of comedic relief to the Venom character, which I didn't always knew that was needed. But Venom, even in the comics, has always had that level of humor to him. One of my favorite iterations of Venom, which is probably one of the funkiest, is from the 2000 PlayStation 1 Spider-Man video game. It's a really, really fun game, but you see, like, Venom cracking jokes, teasing Peter Parker, just all that is kind of what made me love Venom. And Tom Hardy brought that to the table with the way that he decided to portray both Eddie Brock and Venom. The thing is, as much as they beat expectations for the first one, with each movie they decided to do, and each one of them not having Spider-Man involved, I think you could only do this for so long. And if you did have to continue to do it without Spider-Man, you had to deliver an excellent story, have some character progression, development, whatever you'd like to call it, have the stakes be felt. And I think throughout the second and now the third movie, I mean, and you could argue even the first one, even though once again I enjoyed it, it just, those things never were delivered on. None of them were excellent movies. None of them really progress the story forward for the characters. Like maybe they grew the bond between Eddie Brock and Venom, but I felt like a lot of that progress was done in the first movie, and then the second,
Yeah.
where nothing else was added. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating. They already kind of drop the ball when it comes to like not handling Carnage the right way. Like that was so badly handled. I did not enjoy
Mhm.
that movie at all. I've still only watched it once because I don't think I can watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's not on the same camp in terms of distaste, but
Mhm.
for the last movie, like I still feel like the stakes weren't particularly high. They tried factoring in, this character from the comics, Null, that is very
Yeah.
threatening and menacing, but it just none of it really stuck the landing. So when you look back at the whole trilogy, what was it all for? Like, what did we really
Exactly.
gain that we didn't
Yes.
gain on the first movie already? So that's what's frustrating for me. Especially, I'm a
you know,
Venom fan.
it's frustrating because I mean, this is a spoilers review, guys. We're gonna mention spoilers right now, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this right now. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Because I'm gonna mention. I'm jumping way ahead, hitting the gun. When you think about it, the sense of the life of Eddie Brock. The ending when okay. So at first I was like, okay, all right. He's not there no more. Obviously, we kind of knew that something was gonna happen to Venom. They gave us hints from the trailer, but obviously, just letting everybody know, Venom, quote unquote, dies at the end of this movie, by acid, by getting
he
these
made
other
a he made a
creatures.
he made a sacrifice.
Yeah,
There's these
sacrifice. Yeah,
creatures that were super hard to beat. Like that felt kind of like
yeah. It
hardcore.
was
Like
so weird. I was whispering to Lex, I was like, Lex, we need Spider Man. I was like,
Spider-Man,
dude,
the way that they wrote those characters too,
I
of
they
like
were like
pretty much
unbeatable.
being unbeatable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I don't
I
even think
agree. We
Spider-Man
need a
would.
Hulk. We need a Hulk. But regardless, Sony created these creatures. It's astonishing to me because I just don't know why they gave them like almost like no weaknesses. Didn't make any sense, but whatever. So there's that scenario. Now that I'm gonna jump the gun to the end of the end of the movie. When you really think about Eddie Brock's character in this franchise, okay, in this Sony verse, it's fucking terrible. I mean, it really is. It's fucking terrible. This guy went through carrying this alien symbiote along with him for the year. It's a year span. In the trailer, they say, "Oh, we've been together for a long time, Eddie," and that's cool and everything. That's cool. Like I like that montage and everything. I do. I enjoy it. It's suspense, drama. But the thing is, though, that really got to me was that Eddie Brock's character is very depressing at the end because, and I didn't think of this until the after really thinking about it, critically thinking about it, is you think about it. You think about this, Lex. Here it is. So Eddie was a fugitive, okay? Lost his job, lost everything, pretty much his career, right?
Lost the girl.
Lost the girl, okay? Lost the girl. Um, and then he just said, "Remember me, Eddie." And then we're supposed to get this big old suspense at the very end, looking at the Statue of Liberty, and because Venom wanted to go to the Statue of Liberty, and he's like, "Remember me, Eddie." But if you think about it, though, like I never would have expected us to get a Venom trilogy. I'm gonna say that right now. We haven't even gotten a Superman trilogy. We haven't even gotten a Wonder Woman trilogy. We haven't even gotten a Justice League trilogy. We had, I mean, I just, if anyone told me years ago, we're like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, the first Venom, we're gonna get 2 more movies. I would have been like, fuck no, like no, that ain't gonna happen. But
Well,
yeah,
the first movie made $1 billion. So
yeah,
I
I
knew
just
a
didn't
sequel
expect it.
was gonna
I mean,
come.
yeah, I just didn't think I obviously after watching the other 2 movies, I for my point of opinion, I don't really think Sony planned to make a trilogy. I think they were just kind of winging it, like, hey, hopefully this makes money. If it does, we'll work on the next one. Well, almost like the old mindset of Warner Brothers and everything, we'll just go with the mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
just
no plan, there's no
yeah,
story. We're just gonna put end credit scene and hopefully there, because Marvel does it, we're just gonna do it.
yeah,
Instead of having an like Kevin like Kevin Feige had this drawn out 10-year plan for phase 1. They
yeah,
already had, so I feel like that they
yeah.
didn't really capitalize on that. And even more so, they didn't even capitalize on Venom's true character of just being this cocky son of a, like, just very I feel like the Eddie Brock's character, they didn't even capitalize on. It was a little bit more sad.
He was more
Uh,
of like this anxious kind of torn guy, and
yeah, like he was already going through a lot, and then they put this creature or this alien on him, and it
well,
just
and
it
he
was it
developed a friendship with him too. But like you said, they mention it's only been a year,
yeah.
and then they play out and act like we've been through so much, and they have. But like at the same time, it's like I don't know. Like I did feel for the relationship between Eddie and Venom, but you're surrounding other characters that still need to do
Hmm.
stuff, and I do feel like the surrounding characters here did like they came in, they did their job, but
Yeah.
it wasn't anything super elevated from a story standpoint.
No.
And I gotta say, I'm sorry, but the both the director and Tom Hardy, co-wrote, and to my understanding, the director also wrote the last one, perhaps also with Tom Hardy's help. I just don't feel like that is the screenplay duo that a big
Hmm.
franchise like this needed, and especially not after the last movie. After the last movie, they should have done a full shift away from the directors, or at least the writers, because the
Yeah.
direction wasn't really, visually, it's still a movie that passes today's standards, and I think story is what matters the most. And so after the fumble that was the last movie, I really don't know how they decided, hey, let's go ahead and keep that team,
Yeah.
and let's cook something else again, right? It's almost like they decided not to take in the feedback.
Hmm.
um, Tom Hardy, I'm sure the cast themselves had a lot of fun doing this. It's
Hmm.
just not a lot of fun to watch, like as someone that's a
Yeah.
fan, right? Like the movie had some laughs, had some entertainment aspects of it, but just as a whole, I don't feel it delivered. And the last thing I'll say is just my big frustration was like the character journey. It almost felt like it regressed a bit, because
Hmm.
even on the trailer I noticed something. Like there was like the scene where both Eddie Brock and Venom are trying to say we are Venom, and they're saying it off sync. And then Tom Hardy's character, Eddie Brock, says, "We have to work on that, buddy."
I
But
mean,
first movie,
yeah.
on the first movie, they got it together in sync. Literally, if you look back at the trailer of the first movie,
Yes.
it ended saying like "We are Venom" at the same time in sync. So like, why is there a step back in terms of
Yeah.
like
Character
the
of character.
for no pun
Yes.
intended, but the symbiosis that they have, both the symbiote and Eddie Brock, like why are they off sync now in their third
Yeah.
movie when they've been through so much? Like, why are they still arguing and being off sync? The second
Yeah.
movie show some of the dysfunction, almost kind of like a bad breakup, or kind of like
Hmm.
a toxic relationship, and that's fine. But why in the third movie are we still off sync where they got in sync at the end of the first movie?
Yeah.
It's just, it feels regressive. It
Yeah.
feels like there was no point. It feels like they don't even, once again, they didn't work too hard to leave the character in a better spot that they have, or
Hmm.
that they started in, right? Like it's just, it's frustrating. It's
Yeah.
frustrating. I gotta say, like, just as a whole, not super impressed with the whole trilogy, and I love Venom. I do. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have
yeah.
enough
You
like here enough
Lex
to have
loves Venom way
actually
more than I
have,
do,
yeah,
and hey, and I gotta say though, one of the things that you spot on, I was actually gonna bring that up already, was that in the film, we see it in the, you mentioned already, you said it in the trailer, we're like, we are Venom, we are Venom. Like, I get the joke. There's a joke and there's like a
yeah,
pun. Hey, I get that, but it was happening throughout the movie, and it was just very annoying. It's like the first two didn't even exist. That's what I felt like their
yeah,
relationship. They're supposed to create this dramatic experience. The first 45 minutes of this movie is just, oh god,
it's slow
it's a lot to
paced.
get through. It's a lot to get through. I'll say that. There's this other scene. It's like 20-30 minute scene. Like he's in this car, this van with his family. I gotta admit though, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the supporting characters we got out of there. They were hilarious. That family was hilarious. Otto Hightower. I mean,
Yeah,
I know from the first movie I saw him, it was in The Replacements. Uh,
and
and
I know he plays Dr. Connors too in the
There you go. I'm sorry. Yes, and Dr.
the
Connors, of
Amazing
course.
Spider. But
Yeah,
I feel like Sony just cast him to, hey, give him a paycheck and be deceiving about like, hey, are people gonna think that this is Dr.
yeah.
Connors? Like,
I that if that's Sony's intention, it was idiotic and stupid. But regardless, though, I feel like that they're both the actor and actress, like they both did a splendid job. I was more interested in their characters than the villains. Than I mean, even the symbiotes, we didn't really get too much of them. Like they're hinted a lot in the trailer. They really are. They show them where they're all displayed. And what do we get? 15 minutes, maybe? Not even. And that's putting it lightly. But
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I have to admit it. I have to admit it. The ending of this film was really, it was not bad. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the ending of this, and I really had a splendid time at the end of this movie. Um, but yeah, no, like I really enjoyed a lot of the moments of the action sequences that we got in here. That was really cool. Except like, why did why did they make the creatures invincible? Pretty much that didn't make any sense to me. So I was just like, okay, whatever. But the symbiotes. So let's go. Let me see here. So I want to mention this because this weekend it made. We'll talk about ratings right now as well. Lex, what's your rating, real quick? I'm sorry.
So for this, I gotta just put it down the middle. So it's a 5 out of 10 for me. So it's
Okay.
not.
Damn. Usually you're
Yeah.
pretty good at giving a really good ratings.
If the movie's not good, I'm not gonna. I sometimes do get impressed and swayed a little bit more with more things that connect with
Yeah.
me, and I rate it higher. But yeah, no, this one I'm just gonna say. I was even thinking of a 6, but I just don't think it merits it. Like,
Yeah.
don't really want to watch it again. So 5 out of 10.
Okay. And then ID Walker Art said on Instagram, that's because there was a clear path with little interference. I think he's talking about the Marvel thing we talked about earlier. Yes,
Yeah,
you are totally right, man. And nice to meet you, buddy. I know you were at SpaceCon yesterday. We got to meet you, man. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for tuning in on the videos. We're gonna have more videos like this
yeah,
very, very soon. We're gonna start doing live streams weekly. It's just scheduling
yeah,
conflicts. But anyways, going back to this and everything, I'm gonna start with the number first. A
yeah.
4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. I think I gave the first Venom movie. I think it was like a 5 or 6. I have to go back. I
I
could have
went
sworn.
higher for sure. If I, or
Yeah,
I might have not been on the crew, but
and this is me
internally,
not liking Venom, right? But I
yeah,
still enjoyed the Venom moments we got in here.
yeah,
The Venom moments we got in this movie, The Last Dance. I'm happy it's The Last Dance. It's
yeah.
just idiotic. That's first off, this is a stupid fucking name, Sony. I'm sorry. It's a stupid fucking name. I just have to. I'm coming in with angry because I'm all like, you guys had the audacity to make a trilogy and fuck it up. Venom, a character that is really dark and could be the darkest thing, like what is to the Batman almost, and you really screwed it up. You really screwed it up. You could have had this realism behind it. You could have had this real iconic moments with this character. I mean, you screwed up on the casting of Woody Harrelson. I mean, Woody Harrelson's a-list actor. I feel like that he didn't play Carnage very well. And the last one, oh my god, Carnage was just cringing. I was like, well, this isn't the Carnage. Like, we recasted Carnage. Who was it? Jim Carrey, like years ago, where they tried to they were like, oh, this guy could play him. This guy could play him. It's like the content is out, the content is out there and everything, but they never wanted
And
to
I
do it.
don't
But
think it was an
yeah.
issue with Woody Harrelson either. Like, I think it was.
No,
Yeah,
no. Woody Harrelson's a great actor. He's an Academy Award winner. I mean, I've seen him in so much great stuff. But I gotta admit, all the stuff I've seen, that was the least favorite when it comes down to it. But at the end of the day, though, was Venom The Last Dance a good movie? And I'm gonna say it was, in my point of opinion, I feel like it's better than the last one, but that's not saying much either.
yeah, that
So
shouldn't be.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so but
I'll say
as
it's
a
an
franchise,
okay
as a
movie for me.
franchise though, as a 3 trilogy franchise, it's a shitty franchise. One of the shittiest franchise I've seen compared to the Star Wars. But again, I still am iffy on Star Wars. But when it comes down to like franchises, like as a whole trilogy, it's a shitty trilogy. I'll leave it at that. One of the
Yeah,
shittiest trilogies that I've ever seen in my lifetime. It really is. I hate
I
to
don't
say
know
it.
about shitty, but
I,
no,
I hate to say that. I do. I hate to say it. It's the way I feel. And this
yeah,
just sucks because I'm a more Tom Hardy fan than I am a Venom fan. And Tom
yeah,
Hardy's just a fantastic actor. And I just didn't expect to get this out of here. With the outcome that we got.
yeah.
But regardless, though, everyone went to go see the first Venom because it was very different. We didn't think we were ever going to get anything like that. And then we saw the movie, and it divided fans. Some people liked it, some people didn't. And Sony just didn't know what to do with the character, really. In reality, they really didn't. I mean, they even stuck in, oh, it's in the multiverse of Marvel now.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, it's
I
just
to
been
be
bait and
honest,
switch from Sony, and I'm
yeah, and
tired
then
of
they
it.
brought him back into Sonyverse, and I was just like what, like, oh my gosh, like it wasn't as bad as Madam Web. I'll say that it wasn't as bad as Madam Web.
But still, Sony's
It's
clearly not like this. Doesn't get me excited for Craven. And once again, they're getting actors
Craven's
that
coming
are
out. Oh
talented,
my
and I
god.
really like. Aaron Taylor Johnson's
Yeah,
great, but I
yeah.
just have no faith in any of the Sony produced stuff unless there's like a shift in leadership or creators, whatever it is. I don't know.
Yep.
Like it's just, yeah, I'm just tired of it. I'm sell the entirety of the leftover rights, please, because like they're not.
They're
I don't
not
know.
producing.
Yeah.
One of the last two things we're going to mention, of course, the symbiotes. Okay, so they most of them do die. There's one left. I believe it's on. I keep saying Keely. I'm sorry. Because you, what do you call it?
Juno
It's what?
Temple.
It's on one of the actors. The one of the actresses.
Yeah,
And
Juno Temple.
oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dr. Teddy Payne. She has one left with with new speed powers. Okay, that was very interesting. I thought that was really cool. So
Yeah.
we got those little, tidbits. The thing that I wish we would have gotten, though, I'm gonna go back to is this. I wish we would have gotten at least Noel versus Venom in some type of way. I feel like that was a missed opportunity, to where like maybe he can try to beat him, or maybe all the symbiotes join together to form a mega symbiote. I don't know. I just feel like that they could have done Noel's character, and Lex, you were right. What he was in, like the movie, like
Yeah,
15,
he was
15.
in
Yeah,
there
you
more
called
than
it.
I thought. I actually
Yeah,
thought it was
because
gonna be
you
more
were
of a
like, watch, he's just in that movie one scene and that's it. We're not gonna
yeah.
see him anymore. You were pretty close
But
though. You were
still,
pretty close.
all in all, yeah, it was like a couple minutes
But we
sprinkled
never
throughout.
got this. This is a missed opportunity. That's all I'm saying. I wish we would have gotten this. Kind of looks like Henry Cavill a little bit. I know it's not him, but it kind of looks like on the right. It kind of looks him a little bit. But it missed opportunity. I'll say that. But so so one of the questions that I do want to answer now, are the symbiotes dead? Because I don't know if you remember the little canister. Remember, it was a piece of every single symbiote.
Oh, on Earth? No, I don't think so. I think
No. So,
there
so
was,
the ones that are were on. Remember that that other doctor? She was collecting parts of them. Remember in the
yeah,
film?
yeah. So those little pieces I think are still
Y-
out there.
yes. So let me ask you this, because we know comic book based. Can technically Venom come back?
Yeah, if it's that little piece of
Right.
symbiote, yeah, they
So
sure
all
could.
they need is a host.
Yeah,
Perfect. That's all I
yeah,
need to know. There you
but
go, guys. See, there.
yeah, but I'm kind of hopeful that I mean, if they do, just do it as a reboot. Don't do the
No,
same
I
thing.
agree. I agree. I 100% agree. Do it as a reboot. Bring a fresh nobody in. Don't bring a named person. I feel like they should just get someone new and focus less money on the actor, more money on the story. Spend more money on story, spend more money on the CGI. I feel like instead of putting all the money on the actor, because I feel like that's what they just did. Not to say Tom Hardy couldn't do it. It's just the script for me, the story wasn't right. I'll leave it at that. But
Yeah,
yeah, so there is a canister of all the symbiotes, and it's actually what do you call it? It's the lady Sadie Christmas, or they call it Christmas. I forgot. They call it Christmas.
yeah.
She
I
has like
think
a
her
little
last
Christmas
name is,
brand.
but I think
And
her last, or maybe in the credits, I think it was Christmas too.
oh, okay. Well,
Sadie
that's cool.
Christmas.
That's awesome.
But
But
yeah,
so
they have
they
some samples somewhere. It's a similar argument. They said like in Spider-Man 3 with Sam Raimi, Dr. Connor still had a piece of Venom in his lab.
true.
So like, it's like a similar thing. But once again, will they do anything with it? I don't really know.
No,
Like,
but okay. Well, they should continue. Now that you brought it up, they should, like, Sony. If you
mm,
guys, since you are making shitty movies, you really are. Since you're making fucking shitty movies, you might as well just make Andrew Garfield's movie. That's all I'm saying. You might as well. I mean, you're already making terrible movies. I mean, I don't know if you know this, Lex. If before the end, right now, Sony's on track to lose way more money on the entertainment industry in its history, and after their 100-year mark hit this year, isn't that terrible?
yeah,
If Disney was doing that, hell no, man. I'd be like, all right, let's go. Let's gotta get somebody out. Oh, they were, but that wasn't their 50th year, but it was Bob Chapek. But anyways, not going to the CEO side or anything like that. But Sony really needs to change their entertainment industry when it comes down to making movies. Certain franchise, I feel like that they should just they need like a James Gunn, they need like a Kevin Feige over there to really
yeah.
run it all. So I'll admit that, guys. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for thank you so much for staying tuned with us, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below. Let us know, what did y'all think of Venom 3: The Last Dance? Let me know in the comments down below, what did y'all think? And we love talking with every single one of you guys.
Yeah,
Again, my rating is a 4 out of 10. Lex, what was your rating again?
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Man, that's one of the lowest ratings that I've seen Lex do. And
Yeah.
normally he's like at like what are you at? Like you're always like at a 8, 9,
No,
10. Yeah.
I'll watch good movies.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good one. Stay safe, everybody. And
Take
see
care,
you.
everyone. Have
Yeah.
a
And
good weekend.
you too, man. Have a good one, man. And happy football Sunday, guys. Let's go Cowboys. Not the Saints. Let's go Cowboys. Hurry. Don't
Bye.
lose 40-9 again. Please don't. Please. All right. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe. See you at the movies. Latest.